What is up, gamers with Y? I'm so tired. How you doing today? It's me, Daniel, also known as Evil. That's what I am. How you doing? It's great to see you. So, if you guys know me at all, which I hope you do somewhat, I love Dungeons and Dragons, and I talk about D&D a lot. Dungeons and Dragons is a huge component in my life. I have my favorite dice set sitting right in front of me. Like, that entire shelf right there is all D&D books. I love Dungeons and Dragons so much. And a big part of Dungeons and Dragons is the rules. Players and dungeon masters come together and agree on a set of rules that determine the rules of a game that we all get to come together and share in. But sometimes there are these things called homebrew rules. Now, what is homebrew? Well, they're rules we make up at home. They are not in the actual rules or anything. They're just more of a thing that we would rather do. And sometimes they pertain to the game, and sometimes they don't. And recently, a post on Twitter blew up talking about 44 rules that my DM gave to me and my party, and these rules are insane. Like, I read through the first 10 and I was like, holy shit, what is wrong with you? So I'm gonna go through and talk about them because these rules are actually crazy. But before we get into that, I gotta plug all my stuff. Number 1, go subscribe to the Patreon. If you didn't know, I have a Patreon that's available for anyone to join. We have Patreon game nights, Patreon movie nights. We're going to be watching Star Wars soon. We're going to be playing Jackbox. It is just an extra way to support me, and if you are willing to donate $5 a month, that is more than enough, and I appreciate you so very, very much. I post YouTube videos early. I post kind of behind the scenes stuff, extra stuff that I'm doing, so go make sure to check it out if you haven't. If you're already subscribed, thank you so much. I'm gonna start putting patrons in videos because I think that'd be funny. Not yet, because I haven't figured out exactly how I'm gonna do that, so let me figure that out first. And also, make sure to go check out merch. We still have a tiny bit available. We are almost completely sold out, so make sure to go pick up some while there's some left. Anyways, let's get into these rules. Jesus Christ, these are crazy. Okay, so again, just to preface this, from the context I've gained about this, like, group and the DM and the rules, is that this seems to be, like, more of a younger teenager group of, like, D&D players, which, like, okay, fine, good for them. If you're cringe, you're cringe. I don't care. I'm gonna call it, and I'm gonna say, I see cringe, I say cringe, okay? If it's cringe, it's cringe. I don't care how old you are. People are speculating that this also might be, like, bait content, because some of these are actually fucking crazy, and, you know, if it was actually bait, I would believe it if it was bait. This is infuriating. But these seem to be more, like, social contract rules, which is kind of like, the social contract is basically just, like, an agreement that the players and the DM kind of make with each other about playing the game, the rules and everything. Like, a normal social contract thing would be like, don't lie about your dice roll, you know? That's a normal thing. That's like, hey, we're all agreeing not to lie about our dice because that takes away from the fun of the game. And that makes sense, right? So a lot of these rules are kind of like that, just really fucked up. So let's do this. Okay, rule number 1. I'm timing turns. Oh god, I forgot that this rule number 1, and it's already horrible. I don't give a fuck if it's unfair in your opinion because your spells are hard or you don't know what to square to move to. You get 1 minute to know all the actions you want to take, or I skip your turn. Oh my god. Off rip already. What is wrong with you as a DM to be doing this? Listen, I get that taking long turns is often frustrating and annoying as a dungeon master myself with a party of 6 people. I get it. But that's what? You're allowed to be frustrated. But 1 minute to know what you're gonna do, does that account for dice rolls? Does that account for checking on, like, dexterity saving those? What? Like, what are you doing? 1 minute to know all your actions, and or I skip you skip the turn. Ugh. Okay, first off, number 1 problem. You are punishing players within the game for out of game reasons. That is the first biggest problem here. That's like saying, oh, you were late to D&D by 25 minutes. I'm gonna skip 5 of your turns now. Like, what the fuck? That's not fair. Again, I get it. When people take really long turns, it can get very frustrating, especially if people don't know what they're doing. But maybe rather than, like, punishing them, help them? Because here's the thing. People who come to D&D want to play D&D. Oftentimes, there's just a lot of things going on in their character sheet that overwhelms them. Explain it to them. Help them. Oh my god! There's 44 rules. This is number 1. Holy shit, this is gonna take forever. Okay, next one, I guess. Number 2, if you want harder fights, bring a second character sheet and expect to twiddle your thumbs when you die. I am not going to baby anyone. Okay, here's the thing. This is a fine rule. He's just being a dick about it. I say he because only a man would hate like this. This is, oh my god. You could say, hey, listen, I'm gonna be implementing harder fights, so in case you have a character death, make sure you have a backup. That is literally the exact same thing. I'm just not an asshole about it. Why is he saying like, oh my god, this is a vindictive bitch? Number 3, if you call me or my roles unfair, I'll get up and go home. And if you got a ride with me, you could find your own way back and suck it up. Jesus. Okay, as a dungeon master, fudging your rolls is a thing that I've definitely done before. That's fine. It's not like the worst thing in the world. It's not like the world is going to explode and die if you fudge your rolls. And if someone calls you out on it, who gives a fuck? Who cares? It's make-believe. But, like, I'll get up and go home? Why are you so, like, are you so insecure in, like, your position and in your trust in your friends that if they accuse you of, like, fudging a dice roll or complaining about a dice roll that you're gonna fucking leave? Like, are you even friends with these people? I can't stick on like one of these too long. There's so many of these. I'm going to my brain is going to explode out of my fucking head. God, this dude is a dick. Number 4, I'm going to take your character's loot away as regularly as you want it given out. Rule 3 will apply here. What? That's just vindictive. That's just mean. Like, here's the thing. I get it. Players ask for a lot of unreasonable things, but as a DM, it's your job to say no, and that's the hard stop. You could just say no. Like, you're God. You created this universe. You're the writer and the mastermind behind it. You can just say no, right? And you don't have to like punish them for asking. You could just say, like, if a player comes up like, hey, I beat this dragon over here. Can I turn its bones into a sword? You could just say like, no, sorry, the dragon is too desecrated or whatever in order to reap its bones for material. Unfortunately, that's how it works. I'm sorry. You have that power. You have that choice. You don't have to be, again, a vindictive dick. God, this guy is just a petty asshole. What? This guy just sounds insecure. Like, you know, how's his home life going? It sounds like he's reinforcing his boundaries by punishing the people around him, and that's not fair. Maybe he doesn't have a lot of control over the rest of his life. Maybe his life is spiraling out of control, and all he has is D&D, and when someone tests that control, he lashes out and starts crying like a little bitch. Maybe that's what it is. I don't fucking know. This is ridiculous. Number 5, if you don't act out any of your persuasion or intimidation or any other social checks, you fail before you even... Oh my god, this is dumb. Fail immediately because you aren't even trying and you're making the game lame for everybody. Oh my god, that is so stupid! Listen, I've thought of this before, and in idea, it's fun, but in execution, stupid. Imagine you're rolling an intimidation roll. Imagine there's a police officer in front of you, and you're trying to intimidate the guard into giving you their weapon. Is he actually expecting you to go up to a cop and scare him into giving you his gun? Really? Is that what he's asking you? Persuasion check. Is he like, imagine you're trying to like persuade someone into giving you money or something. Are you asking your players to come up and try and swindle you out of 20 bucks? Like, this is so stupid. Are you what? Maybe make them do their acrobatics checks next. You know? Oh, you want to do a flip over that wall? Why don't you do it in real life, huh? You fucking idiot. Number 6, if you don't pick up cues on side quests, that's not my problem. Get over yourself. It's not a video game. It's a role-playing pen and paper-based game with miniatures. I'm not holding your hand if you choose not to pursue shit. God, you are just... why do you say this like an asshole? Just be normal. God, are these not your friends? Jesus. This rule, as dickish as it sounds, I understand. If you're playing in like an open world D&D game, I get it when you like want to have this like free roam based feel to the game. But like more often than not, you do need to at least put like a thread or like a seed of like plot to get the players going. Because otherwise they're just going to be like, oh, I guess we'll go look for a dungeon or like try and fight some bandits or something. Like you have to give them something. This guy, what it comes down to is a breakdown of communication. And this guy, this fucking asshole is saying, oh, I've created this really cool world for you to explore and play in. Too bad I'm not going to tell you about any of it. Like, what? You put all this effort in it. You're not going to make an effort to like give any kind of like information? Like, what the fuck? Number 7, if you move a square in combat, there are no takebacks chess rules. Fuck you. Fuck that. That's dumb. And next question. Number 8, you tell every single person what you're doing before you do it. You don't fucking roll dice and say you cast fireball. You tell us all. Okay, this rule actually based as hell. I have never had a problem with players where they just start rolling and say they do something. I have never had that problem, thank God, but I have seen it happen before, and that has got to be annoying, especially if it keeps happening. happening. Like, say you're describing a scene and a player goes, I rolled a seduce, a 20. That's frustrating. That's annoying, right? But like, thankfully, I've never had that problem because the friends and people I played with are considerate of my time and world building. So I've thankfully never had a problem like that. But that is the one decent rule I've seen so far out of these insufferable others. Number 9, I will give out exhaustion more frequently. If you argue, go home, or you can actually fight me over it, or you can DM yourself. Yeah, it's like a normal rule. Just don't be a dick. Yeah, exhaustion is kind of a shitty mechanic. If you want to give it out more, discuss it with the party before the actual game starts and be like, hey, how do you guys feel about exhaustion? XYZ. If you guys don't like it, we can discuss doing it. It's like just again, it's a breakdown of communication and you're just a dick. Stop. Number 10, every snide comment you make to an NPC will be remembered and paid back in triplicate. You all seem to believe there is little consequences. I mean, kind of, because there's not really. This is a make-believe game. The consequences are made up. Yeah. Like, I get that though. Like, oftentimes players feel invincible and they don't care what they say, and like sometimes you need to come back and bite them in the butt sometimes. But that's what you do as a DM. You don't need to be like, every snide comment will be repaid back in triplicate. You could just say, hey, they're probably gonna remember that, or I'll keep that in mind next time I see you. And then you keep that to yourself. And then you pay it back later. You don't, again, he's just, I keep saying this. He's just a dick. He's just a dick. Oh my God. Number 11, you will not be given a mega dungeon every session. A temple is not the size of a small city. Neither is a cave. This shit will happen when it's natural and organic. Go play some roguelike if you want that. Okay, so obviously these rules are being put in place for a reason. And I guess I can assume that these rules are put in place because the players keep wanting mega dungeons with mega loot. Again, I understand what you're saying. You make a decent point. It's just kind of like, okay, you got to decide that. This doesn't need to be a rule. You could just say it. That's it. Like, oh, I want to explore further into the cave. Unfortunately, there is no further in the cave. You just reach the back of the cave wall. That's it. That's all you say. You're done. You're done. This guy is like imposing his frustration on the party, probably because the party was frustrating him to an extent, but this seems like really excessive. Number 12, the travel portion is done. You want to travel continents doing literally whatever and whenever you want. What the fuck? Go play World of Warcraft or D&D with AI. I don't understand this. Like, I don't understand this one. This what? Whenever? Doing literally whatever you want? Oh, whatever you want, whenever you want. Oh, I can read. I mean, like, it's kind of what D&D's about, right? You can do whatever you want, whenever you want. Doesn't mean you're always free from the consequences, but again, you can ask. Again, you're the DM. You could just say no. Like, oh, I want to go put my penis in a well over there. Okay, go for it. Or you could just say no. Say, no, you got to keep going. Otherwise, you're going to take too much time off your journey. You have that choice. You could say no. That's it. You could just say no, brother. Number 13, if you're late with no good reason, I'm going to have your character's hit points for the entire session. Okay, that's okay. No, this is again, making characters suffer for IRL problems and issues is never good. You're making, like, again, late with no good reason. I'm gonna have what the fuck does that mean? Like, I get it. It is very frustrating when you've prepared a lot of stuff and it seems like people don't care. I get that. I understand. But still, just discuss it with that player. Be like, hey, I feel kind of upset that you're late because I've put together all this work and it feels like you don't care. So rather than punishing them in game, maybe express your feelings and talk about them like a normal person. Like, I get it. Talking about your feelings is hard, but you gotta do it at some point, especially in D&D, which is a role play game. Do not punish your players in game for IRL things. That is not okay, unless it's like a funny bit. That's just mean. If you don't show up for no good reason, and that will be determined by me alone if no one else has the guts to say shit for fear of upsetting one another, the first time you'll find yourself losing either a whole level or up to 3 major items you own. The second time you do it in a row, you will be removed from the chat and the group, full stop. I have no fucking time for people not to show up. Again, I understand where this sentiment is coming from, but this dude cannot deal with basic human emotions, nor handle fucking having friends. Again, it's rude when people show up and be like, sorry, I didn't feel like it today. Like, that fucking sucks. Like, again, we made a social contract where we said we would show up every single week, and that sucks when that doesn't happen. And again, it's like, I get it. You are allowed to feel disrespected, and sometimes you are being disrespected, but again, maybe talk to people about it. Again, these rules were put in place for a reason, so maybe this happens like so often that the rules need to happen. But it's like, if these are your friends, why is this happening so often? What? I don't know, man. Just talk about your feelings with your friend. Maybe these aren't even your friends. God, like, these people, you do not sound like you like these people. What is going on? What? Number 15.
Number 15. Could I get the number 15?
If you get too stoned or drunk to play, it will go home without a warning. Your warning is here. Okay, nope, that's another based one. That's based. Some people are not comfortable with marijuana or drinking, especially during D&D. Sometimes it's a fun thing where it's like, hey, we're gonna get drunk and play D&D. But if you're not all agreeing to that beforehand, you guys should not be doing that. This is just comes down to like basic comfort and consent. And if people aren't comfortable with certain things, then you should not be doing it in that group setting where you've all agreed to come together like that. This is a decent rule. I understand that. If you get up for bong or smoke or whatever breaks every 10 minutes, I will simply pack up and go home. I'm sick of waiting for every bloke to be at this table. Again, that makes sense. Again, if people are getting up, like if people get up to use the bathroom, real, I get it. If people are just getting up to like go outside and catch a cigarette or something in the middle of a game, that's disrespectful. Again, talk to your friends about this. Establish these rules beforehand. Say these things. If it comes up halfway through a game, then address it then. But it's like, dude, you gotta be able to talk about your feelings. Come on. But yes, but that's a decent rule. That makes sense. You are allowed to be uncomfortable with certain things like that, especially if you feel like you're being disrespected, but talk about it as well. But then again, we wrote all these rules out for a reason, so maybe this just happens so often, but like then your friends don't even respect you. But it just doesn't sound like you respect them either, so why are you guys even hanging out? Number 17, guidance, divination spells, hours, and whatever spells I decide are too fucking stupid I decide are too fucking stupid are banned. Outright, no more fucking guidance. Bad rule. You had 2 decent ones and followed it up with the worst fucking thing I've ever heard. Don't be banning spells or shit just because you don't like it. Guidance isn't even that powerful. It's just kind of whatever. This is stupid, dude. That's dumb. As a DM, you gotta be ready for this stuff. If someone pulls out an owl and like fucking looks through its eyes to go spy in an area, be ready for that. Be fucking prepared. Just like, don't be stupid. Don't be like, oh, I wasn't prepared, so this is banned. No, fuck that. That's dumb. That's dumb. Just be prepared next time. Number 18, you get 1 chance at a skill check. If you fuck up, your party doesn't get their chance to do the same check. Think careful who's good at what. I mean, I kind of get this. But again, you have the chance to say no. So it's like, I mean, like, I guess you did just say no, like right here, but it's like, don't be a dick about it. Yeah, that's like, that's a fine rule, whatever. Who cares? It's like not the worst thing, that it's also not like not amazing. You know, no. Actually, you know what? This rule's kind of stupid. Hold on. Imagine, so let's cut back to an earlier rule. The rule about I'm not gonna give you any plot hooks to put you on an adventure or find shit in the world. Imagine you find like an ancient tablet in a script that people can't read, but there's like a cipher that should allow you to read it. So someone rolls an investigation check, right? And they fail. And this tablet was supposed to lead them on like a 4-week quest, but now they're locked out of it because of the 1 skill check rule. That's stupid as shit. Never mind, this rule's pretty dumb. Again, I get it for some skill checks, like, oh, a stealth check in the middle of a castle while trying to infiltrate the kingdom and kill the king. Yeah, that makes sense. But for every single skill check? I don't know, I'd rethink that personally. Number 19, discussion of metagame details in-game will result in instant damage to your character. Bad. How are you going to ban metagaming? Because it's like, oh, like, how are you going to ban just knowledge, basically? Like, oh, I read through the monster manual. I remember that this creature is resistant to fire damage. Like, I get, like, if the player wants to keep that to themselves, that is their choice. But, like, it's like, who cares? It's a make-believe game. You're being so harsh. It's unreasonable. Stop. Get a life. Number 20. Rules lawyering fellow players is encouraged. Actually me will result in me telling you to fuck off. Okay, so you're a hypocrite too. Yeah, you can correct other people, but if you try and correct me, I'll kill you. That's, no, what the fuck? Dumb, stupid. You should be able to take criticism as well as you can hand out. Listen, if you can't handle any criticism, don't critique other people. Fucking stop. Rule number 21, you roll your dice within view of 2 players who aren't your standard. You roll them neatly and you roll them on the table. Failing to do these things will auto-fail whatever roll you did. Arguing that you actually rolled validly when you clearly didn't, it is an automatic critical fail. Okay, I get the whole thing about rolling your dice in view of the players, but like neatly and shit, who cares? It's a game. Just get your players a dice tray, throw it in the middle of the table, say you all roll here now. Easy, done, solution, done. Maybe he made this rule because people were really fudging their dice. Maybe, I don't fucking know. God damn it. Is this dude annoying to read? Because he's just so rude. Oh, also, he's talking about, oh, you complain about my roles, you can fuck off, and I don't have to show you my roles, but he's making other people roll it? No. Again, you're a fucking hypocrite. If the status quo is you have to roll with your dice out, you should probably too as well. If you don't trust your players, they probably don't trust you either. And I get you're the DM. You're allowed to change roles and shit, but like, who gives a fuck? It is make-believe. If they lie about a dice roll, they probably need that win more than you need to kill them in this encounter. It's like when someone cheats on Monopoly. You probably need this win way more than I do, bud. You can have it. Number 22, instant death traps and mechanics are coming into place. If you call these things unfair moving forward, I will laugh at you and tell you to fuck off and cry some more. Okay, so you give people one chance to roll a skill check, and if they fail, they fail, and then you give them instant speed death traps where if they fail, and they're dead forever. Okay, let me pose you this. They walk into a dungeon. You say, roll a perception check. They fail. They all walk down the hallway and they're all murdered by acid poison arrows spitting from the walls. Is that fair? Maybe, maybe not. Let me pose a different question. Is that fun for you as a dungeon master? Watching your party die? Not for me personally. That is narratively very unsatisfying. And that's not very fun for the players either. And it's D&D is a social game where the goal isn't to win, it's to come together and have fun. What the fuck is wrong with you, dude? Number 23, I will not give you random magical items and vendors will not stock them. They're meant to be rare and hard to acquire. Yeah, sure, whatever, dude. That's part of your world building. Doesn't need to be a rule. Next question. Number 24, random encounters in the form of random dungeons or strange, mysterious road traders or a band of goblin prostitutes isn't gonna happen. Go play Baldur's Gate 3. Dude, you just don't like fun. You just like don't like to have fun, do you? Like, you saw your friend smiling and laughing and said, I don't like that. Let's do the opposite. You are not a fan of whimsy or magic. It just sounds like you just really want to kill your players. You have a control issue, bro. You're a freak. Number 25, I don't give two fucks what Reddit said about X or Y ruling. Sure, whatever. That's fine. I don't give a fuck. Like, I get it. You're the DM. You kind of have final say about rulings unless everyone in the party is vehemently against it. But then at that point, who cares? It's a game. Again, it's just for fun. And if you care so much about these rules, calm down. Take a chill pill. 26, I actually don't give less of a fuck about what your mates group did. Yeah, same thing. Fucking calm down. Okay, number 27. Saying anything to me about other players not liking me doing X or Y without them saying it directly to me will result in me kicking you out of the group. Don't use someone else to push your own agenda. Yeah, you don't have friends, dude. I don't know why these people are sticking around in your game. You sound like a horrible person. Like, I get it. You'd rather people say it to your face, but people are allowed to discuss amongst their friends and be like, hey, am I overreacting? Or how should I go about telling the DM this? Like, people are allowed to talk about their feelings without you. You know that, right? Like, people have like valid opinions and perspectives that aren't just yours, okay? Again, maybe I'm misinterpreting all of this. Maybe I'm fucking stupid. I don't fucking know, but this guy seems like a fucking freak. Number 28, you are not to sit down and have a 2-hour discussion about what Samson from Bundura Secondary did 3 weeks ago when you come to play. Take 15 to 20 minutes I use to set up and review my notes, to talk to each other, then sit down to play. But okay, I get it. You want to start in a timely manner and fashion. But if your friends are talking about the world and the lore that you've built and trying to like sift through it to find an answer, doesn't that mean they're interested? And aren't you happy about that? Again, maybe I'm misinterpreting this. Maybe I'm missing exactly what you're saying altogether. But it sounds like your players are interested in the story that you guys are all telling together. Why would you not want them to talk about it? Like, again, I get that you want to move to the next point in the story, but like, it's a story told together. They're allowed to take that time. What? Number 29, saying shit like, guys, come on, we're not here to have fun. We're here to play D&D. This is serious business, and rude and dismissive of how much work I put into this. I will simply go home if I hear this shit. Go home. You're not having fun. So many of these rules are like about not having fun. They're about you and what you want out of the party. These aren't fun, dude. Go home then. Leave. You did this to yourself. You're being the rude one here. I'm pretty damn sure. Number 30, don't fucking order food randomly. We will eat together at specific time or not at all. I don't want food shit all over my things. Okay, this one makes a little more sense. He's kind of cooking. I get it. You want your things to be clean. You don't want messy materials. You want people to like be engaged at certain times, but also food is food, dude. If people are hungry, Let them get a snack. It is not that serious. It is not that deep, brother. Number 31, no food or drinks near any of my D&D gear. If you wreck something, you can pay for it. I let one person trash my DM screen once, and I never had it replaced by them. In fact, I had that person attempt to gaslight me to believing they didn't wreck my shit at all. I'm not stupid. You're an adult. Accept responsibility. He says they're an adult, so I don't know how these people are fucking teenagers. They just sound like children, though. He's sure acting like a child. This one I get, though. I get, like, D&D books are expensive. Your gear is expensive, your dice are expensive. Don't want that shit. And I've had a couple things ruined, and that sucks. So I understand, like, this specifically. That makes sense to me. Number 32, arguments between party members outside of roleplay will be resolved by me giving a definitive ruling. If you don't like it, fuck off back home. That's not how arguments work. This dude is definitely like a Discord moderator or something like that. Like, here's the thing. If people are having a disagreement outside of the game, you don't get to decide what the right answer is. That's between the two other people. That, again, outside of roleplay, that's up to them. That's not up to you. You're not a part of that. Stop trying to insert yourself in there. During roleplay, like, if there's like a roleplay argument, let the characters solve it. That's the point of roleplay. Outside of that, that's just regular conflict resolution between friends, or judging from this, maybe coworkers at best. You don't get to decide that shit. You can fuck off back home, okay? Because you are acting like a fucking child. Number 33, I don't give a fuck what they did in Critical Role or what that one guy on Reddit said, or if you think that it's all make-believe so you can do whatever you want. The world I run works on internal rulings and lore created specifically for it. Okay, cool. And it is all make-believe. Yeah, and then like earlier you have the Reddit rule. Okay, cool. Again, just show the players the consequences of their own actions. If they do something heinous, respond in kind. Like, oh, you burned down an orphanage? Yeah, you have $1 million bounty on your head and everyone wants to kill you. Again, you could... These don't have to be rules. Again, maybe I'm missing the point. Maybe your players are the shittiest people in the world, but you sound like a shitty person too. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe this is all, like, decent and I'm just fucking insane. I don't know. Number 34. Every single person in this chat is having debuffs applied to their characters that should have occurred a long time ago. This will be specific to characters. Here's the thing. This could be really cool narrative-wise. This could be cool if it was like, oh, you have broken your oath as a cleric and you have lost your cleric powers. And as long as you are in the moonlight, since you have wronged Seluna, you roll a d4 and subtract that from your attack to hit. But it's probably not going to be something cool narratively. It's probably going to be something like, oh, every time you look at me as the DM, I'm going to punch you in the throat because I hate you. This dude just sounds vindictive and mean and just sad. This is a sad, sad person. Number 35, if you don't bring your sheet, you don't play. I mean, like, I get that. Like, you do need a D&D sheet to play, but, like, maybe, like, have an extra. I mean, I used to do that when I played in person. I always made a copy of my player sheet so I could reference that for their abilities if they needed help or something. Again, rather than, like, putting down your players, maybe elevate them so they can have fun. Number 36, if you don't bring dice, borrow some. Yeah, that's just normal. Number 37, when we play D&D, I'm not your friend. Oh, my God. That doesn't mean you gotta treat me as an enemy during the game. It means I'm no longer being nice. You can still be a DM, be their friend, and not be nice. Motherfucker's weird. It's not that deep, bro. It's a game. Have fun. If you treat me poorly in any way, shape, or form after or during or before the game due to something that happened in the game, you're out. If you cannot separate the game from reality, I think you're a fucking moron, and I have very little time to deal with that energy. That is the most hypocritical statement I've read in this entire dossier so far. You punish people inside the game and you expect them not to transfer those feelings outside of it. What? If someone comes in late, you say it's not for a good reason, you have their hit points from their entire session, and you expect them not to be upset. You are a sad person, and I feel bad that you'll never get to play D&D again, because no one will ever want to play with you. Truly feel horrible, because D&D is one of the greatest bonding experiences I've had with some of my best friends in my life. Number 39, you will submit your spell list daily in-game. If you do not give me a spell list each day in-game, you will not be allowed to cast a single spell or cantrip in combat. I do not trust you guys not to use this against me. Bro, who cares? Again, if you really need to cast that spell to win, you need this win more than I do, brother. Apparently the DM needs this win so bad. He needs that control, and this got no trust in this party. That's crazy. These people are not friends. Number 41, if you break literally anything, you can buy the replacement that day or not attend till you do. I mean, I get that. I get, like, respecting people's items and, like, you know, like repairing it if you broke something. Stop being a dick about it. Number 42, if you complain about the choice of music, I fully expect you to bring the whole playlist the next session or shut the fuck up. Brother, it's music. There's not much else. I can't say anything else. I'm moving on. Number 43, cannot stress enough how little I care about how you feel about my rulings from now on. I thought you said if anyone was mean to you, you're gonna kick them out. I think you care a lot about how people feel about your ruling. Again, you're contradicting yourself here, buddy. Like, do you care? Do you not? Are you trying to act cool? Oh, I don't care. I'm nonchalant. But it sounds like you care a lot. It sounds like you care so much, actually. So much that you wrote 44 rules about your rulings, actually. So I think you care a lot, actually. And we're about to get to the last one. So you still have more to fucking say. So it sounds like you care. So, like, which one is it? Oh, and rule 44. I'm never just threatening you. I'm promising you. Oh my god. This motherfucker thinks he's the Joker. This guy is a joke. Holy shit. These rules are insane. Like, what is this actually? What the fuck? You are not friends with the people you're playing with. I don't know what else to say. Like, this person, again, he's calling people adults, so I think we can rule out the fact that they're maybe teenagers. This guy just sounds like a vindictive asshole. He wants to take out anger and his frustration on the world and his life, on the people he plays D&D with. I feel horrible for the party, for this dungeon master, because the DM will never truly experience the joy that D&D can bring, and the party is getting D&D ruined for them by this sad, sad man. And like, here's the thing, some of these rules are fine. Some of these rules are decent, but they're surrounded by rude, vindictive opinions stated as fact. That sucks. Again, maybe I missed the whole point. Maybe I'm actually fucking stupid. Comment below if you think I'm dumb and I misinterpreted one of the rules, but I don't think I did. Anyways, everyone, that'll do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. If you play D&D, if your DM creates rules for you like this, leave. Get the fuck out as fast as you can. Dungeons & Dragons should be about having fun and hanging out with friends, creating a story together, and enjoying yourselves. It's not about winning or losing. Take care of yourselves. Take care of the people around you. Go sub to the Patreon. Go buy some merch. I love you all. There's a lot of bad things happening in the world, and due to that, the world is a bad place, but we can make it better, so go do something good. Take your meds. Take your meds. Drink water. See you later. Peace, guys.